Thank you, Jane. Good morning, everyone. I'm thrilled to be here to see everybody again, or to meet one or two of you for the first time. Great to have this opportunity. Thank you for inviting me. I've been given very specific instructions about what we should cover, quite understandably, because you've got a concert to prepare for. So I've been asked to do 15 minutes on the Holst, and then to talk to you for 5 minutes about a subject of my choice, and then to spend 85 minutes on the Elgar Overture. So in a moment we'll tune, and then we will begin with some Holst. I have to say, if this were my rehearsal entirely, I probably would have structured things differently. I would normally start with giving you, as you know, a bit of a play-through of something. If I've only got 15 minutes on the Holst, then there's not really enough to play the whole thing and then do some rehearsal, because the thing's about 9 minutes long as it is. So I'll talk about how we're going to approach that in a moment. We will start with Holst. Shula, over to you. Thank you. So I would normally start with a bit of a play-through. Can we, because we're tight on time for the Holst, can you please imagine that we've just played the whole thing through? Thank you. That was excellent. I didn't hear any wrong notes. There are a few corners I'd like to go back on. Could we start, please, at figure 4 in the Holst, with the upbeat if you've got it. Figure 4. Okay, here we back to that. Let's look at a few things in there. Could we please look at figure 8, please? Figure 8 once. Could we just have, please, cellos, basses, and bassoons? Well, we've only got one here at the moment, but bassoon, cellos, and basses, please. Let's go right on the upbeat to figure 8. 1 and 2. Great, yeah, look out for those G naturals after all those flats. We don't need to be any further ahead of the beat than we already are, I think, yeah, in the cellos. Yeah. Pesante, I think if we just feel it a little bit heavier, a little bit longer. Can we do the same thing one more time, please? 1 and 2. Great. Just let's be heavier on the quavers. Da 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 tee tum tum tum. This is it's a song. It's a folk song, so it's got words on it. We need to have time to hear each word. Last time, same thing. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. That's it. Hear the quaver. Yeah, I think we take care of the little notes, take care of the quavers, it'll be great. Thank you. Could we try everybody, please, I'll give you the downbeat of the bar before figure 8. So the bar before figure 8, here comes the downbeat of that bar is 1. Okay, yeah, so we start with the E natural, F natural, so it's a horrible place to start from. And 1. Lovely. Woodwind, could we hear you at figure 10, please, Woodwind? And it wants to be really tongued, really articulated, really, really bright and clear, like some kind of, Mahlerian marching band. Yeah? Upbeat to 10, just in the woodwind. 1 and 2. It's difficult when we're playing quite percussively, which is great, so it could keep the tuning as well. But we're still warming up a little bit. But let's make sure it's bright enough. Super, thank you very much. Let's do, in the timps, after figure 10, 1, 2, 3, the fourth bar of 10, we've got that accent. Bum, I think we can really grab hold of that. There's quite a few places in this where the timps are kind of almost have a little solo for a moment, and I think you can bring those out. Should we take figure 9 with the upbeat? Figure 9. Nearly run out of time on the horse. 1 and 2. great. Yeah, lovely. I wonder whether at figure 11, people with the long held notes, so bassoons, trombone, bass trombone, tuba, timps, basses, let's hit the note, but then come away slightly, just so that we can hear what else is going on, because it's quite thickly scored around here, and really make sure let's come off before the rest in plenty of time, so we can then articulate the re-entry. Yeah, great. Can we take 11 just to get that balance? 11, right on it. Let's be rhythmic even when it's soft. Yeah, should we take right on 13? If we can really just make sure we move on the beat with Shula. Yeah, it's a lovely sound though. It's just the perfect sound, isn't it? Right on. Let's do 13 directly. 13. Okay, it's a little bit rhythmic imprecision there, isn't there? If we try first and seconds, figure 13. First and seconds, figure 13. 1, 2. Yeah, great. So and then we come off on the second beat there, don't we? And yes, upper second violins, when we move to the F sharp, you're the only people, Matthew, that play there, basically. So we need some precision on that. I think keep the sound alive. You know, it's just a little bit cold, perhaps. Tutti, 13. Figure 13 right on it. You're a bar early. I was trying to rescue it, but I failed dismally to sort it there. 5 before 14. 5 before 14. Sorry, you're in the middle of a slur. Yeah, good. So crotchet stays the same. We just need to know that bit's coming up. Yeah, I don't know how Michael's doing it, but I'm going to subdivide the crotchets going into it. So you get 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So crotchet stays the same. We weren't quite together around there, were we? Can we do the same thing again, please? 5 before 14. 5 before 14. So be thinking crotchets even from here. Steady. Yeah, good. Yeah. We need to be really. I know it says mezzo, it's interesting here. It says mezzo piano here and mezzo forte in the flutes. Adrian Bolt used to put the trumpet on, a gentle sort of muted trumpet on underneath the flute, I think, on this one, just to hear it. But it's not actually in the score, is it? So I think probably Helen just a bit more. He'd be quite soloistic. Right on the allegro. Right on the allegro. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Listen to the flutes. You can't hear Helen, you're too loud. Lovely. Great. So obviously, if we had more time, then there'd be lots of things in that last section. Just the ensemble. It wouldn't take 10 minutes to sort, but it's nearly there, isn't it? So I think a lot of it is the balancing, and it doesn't help when we got missing parts this morning as well. Good. Thank you. Shame we don't have more time for that, but I'm sure you'll probably do that. Are you going to do that once I've gone? It's up to you. It's not my problem. Fine. Fine, yeah. Right, so I've been asked to talk to you for 5 minutes about my sort of vision for the orchestra and to improve it and to expand its range of achievements and all of that. I think the first thing to say is that, this is a great orchestra. I work with lots of amateur orchestras up and down the land, and I'm not just saying this to blow smoke up your proverbial. This is the best one, and it really is a privilege to work with you. That's obviously thanks to Michael for all the work he's done, all the people behind the scenes, but most of all to you who give up your time, your energy, your money to be part of this wonderful ensemble. And I want to sort of celebrate that just from the get-go. It's a marvelous orchestra, and I want to build on that. If I were appointed music director, I wouldn't want to be suddenly coming in and making radical changes, because I think there's an orchestra that works, that is hugely enjoyable to work with, and so I wouldn't be coming in trying to make my own stamp on it instantly. I think the key to maintaining and improving standards is that word I mentioned, which is amateur. I think we should be proud of the fact that we are an amateur orchestra, amateur meaning people who love what they do. And to that extent, I'm an amateur as well. I love being here, I love working with you, and I think we're all amateurs. We love what we do. Go to a professional orchestra, that's not always the case. But it is here, and I think we should be proud of that. It's really important to me that everybody enjoys themselves. It's also important to me that, that everybody feels that they've got a voice, that their voice is heard. But as for the enjoyment, my view has always been if you're enjoying yourself, you play better. If you play better, you enjoy yourself more, and we're into a sort of a virtuous circle. So rehearsals, as well as concerts, should be enjoyable. If it's not fun, then what's the point? Is the way I look at it. The orchestra should be a happy place. Everybody should feel valued. We all feel that our voice is heard, and we work hard to make new members feel welcome. Musically, which I have been asked to talk about briefly, I think that Birmingham Philharmonic Orchestra should continue to do the kinds of things it already excels at, which is primarily the sort of big symphonic repertoire of the 19th and early 20th centuries. I think that will probably always be the core of what we do as an orchestra. But I think it would be good to expand that slightly. I'm always in favour of doing things like the occasional act from an opera, commissioning new work. I know it's an expensive thing to do, but one can do it in collaboration with other orchestras to share the cost, all of that. I think we should be doing more music by women composers and by people from diverse backgrounds. Difficult to program because quite often audiences don't recognise the names on the programme or the music, but I think there's ways of achieving that. I think we should be doing even more in the way of audience engagement. When I work with you, I already speak to the audience. I like doing that. But I think, there's much more we can do in terms of pre-concert talks, in terms of, there's an orchestra in Sheffield that I work with, which does what they call passenger seats concerts, where the audience actually comes and sits inside the orchestra. And sees what it feels like to be inside an orchestra, which is very, very exciting, and people come away with a completely different idea of what orchestral music is about and what orchestral musicians are about. So I think that would be a lot of fun. I see the conductor of an amateur orchestra as being an integral part of the team. It would never be you and me, it would always be us. It's a bit cheesy to say that, but that's the way I see it. It's very much, we're all part of the same team here. And I think that's about it. I've only got 5 minutes. So I'm very proud of my long association with this orchestra, and I look forward to our future together, whatever form that takes. Thank you very much. I should also say that a large part of the success of this orchestra is due to the wonderful leaders that we have. A bit under the weather today, but yeah. So, got 85 minutes to look at some Elgar, so let's do some cocaine. After that, we can do some Elgar. Since we now sort of played for a bit, can we just have another general A, Owen? Do you mind? So general A. No, I know. Yeah. Okay, so let's go from the top. great. We'll go back over some earlier stuff in a bit, but let's just play a bit. But can we just really have a real pianissimo here? And if we can all stay slightly under the first, or later on it's the second, whoever has the tune, just let's stay under them. Yep. Fortissimo left hand, are you saying? Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Figure 5. Okay, we went already. Sorry, give you a moment. Figure 5. great, super. Okay. Well, great piece. Lots of notes. Let's look at some of that. Let's go right to the very beginning and we'll sort out a few things. Again, I think a lot of this, especially in the loud stuff, which is quite thickly scored, requires quite a lot of articulation. And Elgar's very precise, isn't he, about where it's staccato, where it's tenuto, so da-da-dee, da-da-dee, da-da. And let's really find those differences. Quite a lot of the time, one group will have forte, someone else will have piano. And it's very easy, isn't it, I know from my own experience, if I hear someone else, if I'm playing and I hear someone else play forte, I just want to play forte with them. And I find it very difficult to restrain myself. But if we can try to do that, if you can do that better than me, I'd really appreciate it. So if it's piano, let's play it piano, and if it's pianissimo, let's really find a pianissimo. Let's do the top, please. See if we can find that entry just after the pause. Here we go from the beginning. So are you okay? Just give me a bit.
Sorry.
It's all right, Naomi. Have you got some water?
I'm fine.
You're fine?
Yeah.
Don't sound fine. This is a tricky passage. I think use hardly any bow in the song. And not too much crescendo either. The tendency is we use too much bow when it gets louder. Should we just take from there, before figure 1, maybe 2 bars? Could we do it once without any of the horns or brass, please? And we'll go from 2 before 1, woodwind and strings, please. And without percussion either. 2 before 1, woodwind and strings. 3, 4. Yeah, great. Already so much better. We get tripped up slightly by the grace notes.
Just hold the note before it a little bit too long.
Yes. So
I think that really helps.
yeah, so Fuda's quite wisely saying release the note before the grace note to give yourselves time. Yeah, great. That was fantastic. Can you do the same thing once again, please? Same people. And this time, not worrying too much about your own part, but listening to everybody else's part and seeing where yours fits in. 2 before 1, woodwind and strings. 3, 4. There we go. That's the way. So it's just keep it small and controlled. Sometimes we feel, oh, it's lots of notes, I've got to take responsibility as an individual string player. You don't. There's lots of us. Yeah. So let your neighbours play it. Really, get out of the way. Fantastic. That was so much better. Thank you. And it works now at the beginning in bars sort of 4 or 5, where the seconds have got forte, other people have got pianissimo. So bim bom. That's what we want. Great. Should we take tutti from 2 before 1? Thank you. 2 before 1, everybody. Super stuff, sounding great. Seconds, again, it's all about you. The first time anybody has a forte in the whole piece is the second violins in those pizzicati near the beginning. And then again, you've got one of the arco, after figure 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, about the 5th bar of figure 1. And again, nobody has had a forte until then. Yeah, so let's da-dee-da-da-da. Well, at the beginning of that bar, there's some forte in the wind, but that's the first time that anything happens there. So really interrupt there. Ba-da-da-da-da, grab the attention. Could we bring out all these accents that are offbeats? Quite a lot of ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, all of that kind of stuff, which might mean lightening the notes that aren't accented. It's very easy to sort of come down heavy on the downbeats, but the brass will take care of that. Yeah? So in the strings, let's lighten the downbeats when we need to, and then we can give these accents. When it is loud in the semiquavers, 2 before 2, we can really get into the string. Really, again, it's about not too much bow, but being quite a concentrated sound there. Yes, let's bring out those accents. Let's go from before 2 bars is fine, I think. Let's go 4 bars. 4 before 2. Cellos and basses, can we really grip onto these? Bombie, bombie, really, really strong and articulated. Yeah. Let's go 4 before 2. So going into figure 3, first, in my copy, you don't have a diminuendo, but the second flute does have a diminuendo. It's kind of odd round here. My instinct first is not to diminuendo too much into figure 3. I don't know if you've got a diminuendo printed there. No. So I think sustain it into the nobilmente a little bit. Could we make a difference between, this is all of us really, between dun da da dee, dun da da da, or ba ba bee bee, ba ba ba. Sometimes there are triplets, and sometimes there are quavers and semiquavers, and sometimes they kind of approach each other, and it's not quite tidy. Let's do, for example, could we please have bass, trombone, tuba, cellos, and bass after figure 2, the 3rd bar. Yeah, exactly. It's about coming off the tie in plenty of time, soon enough. That's great. Thank you. Seconds, as much as you like. The second bar of figure 2, as we go up that scale at the end of the bar, it's coming through nicely. It will never be too much there. Never. Great. So yes, and then not too much diminuendo going into figure 3. Let's take everyone from 2 before 2. 2 before 2.
Say one thing.
Of course.
With all of these bracelets, we need to make sure they're as close to the beat as possible. So they're not on the beat, but they are really close to the beat. I think sometimes we come in a bit early with them and they're a bit long.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. 2 before 2. Such a great tune. Horns, can we hear your legato there at figure 3? As much of a line as we can get through there, almost like the whole thing's slurred. I mean, it's not slurred, is it? So we do have to tongue them, but really as long, and let's not decay on any of the crotches. They're really gluey, each one to the next one, yeah. Let's make sure we do the little diminuendos when they're there. It'll be much more exciting then when it's loud. Figure 3, it's all about the seconds, the violas, and the clarinets and oboes. Let's go right on figure 3 and listen out for them. Figure 3. transition needs to be a real surprise, doesn't it? So there's an accelerando from the third of four, so we'll really go there. And then subito pianissimo for many of us in the third bar of that passage. So let's make sure we get those dynamics, please. And then it will gradually get slower going in towards figure 5. Good, that was so much better. That sounded really exciting from here. Thank you. We don't need to do that again. So let's take figure 4 for the tempo changes. Figure 4. Okay, right, let's look at this passage. Yeah, that's another wonderful bit. I mean, gosh, so many lovely tunes. So this is sort of traditionally, supposedly, a depiction of two lovers taking a walk in a London park. Yeah? So very, very tender, very gentle, very, very private, but very, very warm. So if we can imagine, whichever significant other you want to imagine, and take them for a walk in the park in your mind and play to them. Yeah, play to them. Let's hear it lovely and warm and dolce, but gentle and soft, very tender. Not too much vibrato. I don't think it should be too sophisticated. Yeah, but enough to keep it really warm. Right on figure 5, please. It already sounds gorgeous. If we can just find this conversational style a little bit more. There's lots of conversation between some of the strings will play ya-da-dee, ya-da-da-dee, and then it carried on by, it's as if, it's you and Owen are the lovers, perhaps, I don't know. But you've got to have this conversation, yeah, between the two. Yeah, okay, Owen, you don't want that role? Okay, yeah, fine. You'll get a doubling fee. So just if we can just allow space for the conversation across between the wind and the strings, yeah. So sometimes he often writes a diminuendo, doesn't he, at the end of the phrase, and that's there for a reason because someone else is taking over the tune. Great. Can we take 5 one more time? And cellos, dare I ask, now that we've shown how beautifully we can play, can just be a tiny bit softer. Thank you. You'll get your turn. Yeah. Figure 5. Okay, last thing, I'm so sorry. I hate conductors who keep stopping. It's really, really annoying. Can we sustain the minims? It seems to sort of die after the bar line, but really sing through the long note. It's about saving the bow and sustaining the sound. Okay, I promise I'll go on till at least bar 3. Lower octave. Yeah, I don't have. I don't know if Michael's doing that, but I don't have the accelerando starting yet. I have it 2 before 7. Is that what you have, Michael? You're starting it there from there? Yeah, so let's not anticipate it. It's more exciting if we do it where it says, which is 2 bars before 7. And forget, if I'm showing it, I apologise. It's not my intention to get quicker there until it says 2 before 7. That's gorgeous. That's sounding really lovely now. Thank you so much. Let's go tutti before 7. So go for that. Should we go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Can we just play 6? And my final offer, we're going to go 2 before 6. 2 before 6, just to negotiate that. We're just having little moments going into figure 6. That would be lovely. 2 before 6, thank you. 2 before 6. It's as if it were pizzicato. The tendency is to just rush a little bit. We can maybe really listen to the woodwind soli and stay with them. I think it can be a bit cheekier here in the woodwind at figure 7. This is obviously a diminution of the original big citizen theme, as you know, just like in Meistersinger Overture, the Apprentices is a diminution of the Master Singer's theme. It's the same principle. I think if it were Mahler, it would have something like kek, cheeky written over the top. Da-da-dee, da-da-da. Can it be a bit more like a naughty street urchin? That would be great. I'm sure you can do that for us, Alistair. Yeah. Good. And then yes, let's not then rush ahead of those woodwind soli. I wonder whether we're playing it in the woodwind slightly too short. Da da da. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm exaggerating, it's not quite as bad as that. Da-da-dee, da-da-da-da-dee, da-da-da-da-dee. Just a little bit of length on the tie, not too short. Yeah. Let's go right on figure 7. Great. And we'll get to just arriving at the sort of development section, aren't we? We'll come to that in just a moment. Couple of things round there. Could we look before figure 10, please? Anybody with these rising scales? So we're going to go from 3 before 10, but please only play if you've got a rising scale. So, for example, first violins don't play until the bar before figure 10. Second violins, if you want to come in 2 before 10, yeah? And I'm going to go from 3 before 10, and let's just play the rising scales, please. 3 before 10. Yeah. So it's got to sound virtuosic. A little word to the wise. If it looks virtuosic, the audience will hear virtuosic. So sit up nice and straight and be proud of what you do. What I've said before, I think, is imagine we've already recorded it. It sounds great. We just need a few shots for the video now. Yeah, we're not going to use the sound, but it's got to look good. Yeah, same thing, but now looking good. 3 before 10. Quod erat demonstrandum. Thank you. And that really wants to come through. There's all kinds of other carnage going on, but I think it's got these SF starts. I think those scales want to come through. And yes, I really, really let it ring at the end. And, I played the right notes, so I'm still vibratoing at the end. Yeah. Good. Yes, we'll do that link in a minute. Just coming up to the development section now at figure 11, let's just find the sound in the strings let's go from 11, just for a few bars in the strings, just to see if we can get into this dolcissimo, flautando, but really kind of caring sound. Let's go from 11 itself. Good. I'm going to ask you to go from the tune itself, from the third bar of 11. I'll start you off, and then I'm going to stop. But carry on. Yeah. This is the third of 11. And so on. Yeah, great. Yeah. Always better without a conductor, always. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, let's do that tutti linking into there now. From 9, please. We've lost some of these accents. There's just so much detail in Elgar's score, isn't it? Every single bar has got some kind of articulation or accent. And it's difficult when we're playing it several times. But when you remember, let's put them in. Figure 9. Not too much there, horns. So Owen, Owen. We just need to sort of be with each other there, because you've got the quavers at the end of the bar, and Helen as well, isn't it? You've got the quavers there. So if we can just feel those together. Can we, just so we know what's going on there, can we just try from there, flutes, oboes, and solo cello. This is before 14. Let's go from 2 before 14. 2 before 14, just to coordinate that transition. 3, 4. Yeah, and it's not written, and I don't know what Michael's doing, it's not what Elgar wrote. but I like it, just a little moment there, yeah? And that's fine, just obviously do what Michael does when Michael's here, do what I do when I'm here, as you always do. Lovely. That was great. And that's a lovely sound strings now. Let's be careful that we don't slow up into 13. It gets lower and lower and quieter, and it was a bit better this time, but it's still tending to just drag slightly. But I think it'll be fine. Let's go right on 13, shall we? 13. A bit more of the lower octaves in clarinets, bassoons, and second violins. Figure 13. Great, good, yeah. So this whole section, I don't know how Mark is doing it, this whole section can be slightly flexible in terms of tempo. There is about a 4 minutes cut version of this piece that Elgar recorded, and it's only about 4 minutes. There may be a longer one, but the one I heard is about 4 minutes long. It must have been to fit on the side of a 78 or something, recorded in the early 1920s, I think. And it's a really cut version, so you hear the beginning and then a bit of this tune and then basically the end, and that's it. But he pulls the tempo about something astonishing, you know, and just because there's no official tempo change doesn't mean we shouldn't just let the music breathe. Yeah, so just be ready for some of those moments. Good. I think this pizzicati can come out a bit more in the basses. Of course, there'll be 8 of you, I'm sure, in the concert, so it'll come through, but a little bit more. 14. Where Alistair, you come in with this kind of the hint of the tune that's coming up later. I think again that could be a bit more sort of intrusive into this kind of lovers scene. Yeah, they're trying to have a quiet moment together, but your marching band is on its way. Yeah, coitus interruptus. Let's go from yeah. That's what I've got. Yadadam. Yada. Yeah, that's what I've got. Yeah. Yeah, there's a few things that are different the second time. It's like when we get the big tune with the trombones and trumpets and things. Well, we'll come to that. But there's an extra note the second time, things like that. He doesn't ever do the same thing the same way, does he? So, yeah, let's take 13. A bit of a counting issue going on down here, but we'll sort that out. There's some dynamics, aren't there, which are not quite coming through. I know I said to have fun in rehearsals, but there's a balance. Yeah? And then a piano when the same pattern happens. Can we try at 16? And sometimes it's interesting. At 16, I've got flutes fortissimo, or first flute fortissimo, then both clarinets playing, but piano. Yeah, and I think he probably knew what he was doing. But then the clarinets have a crescendo and come up underneath the flute. So there's all kinds of detail here. Could we just try, please, at 16, flutes, oboes, clarinets, and second violins? Just give the first violins a moment to work out what they're doing. Yeah, okay. Well, that may take a while. Yeah. 4 in a bar, yeah. So this is 16, thank you, flutes, oboes, clarinets, and second violins. Yeah, I'll give you the beginning of the bar. 16 goes 1, 2. Yeah, good. Yes, one. Yeah. And I know the notes are hard. Don't worry too much about the left hand. Let's get the right hand. Boom, boom, boom. So if we accent with the bow and rhythmic with the bow, it will really work. Do you need another moment there? Is that sorted? Let's do 16 tutti. Yep, 16. So a couple of corners there. Great. So thank you. Sounds awesome. Really does. Thank you so much. 17. So we have a crescendo. Lots of us have a crescendo for a bar and then diminuendo. Let's make sure we do that diminuendo. In the tune, in the brass, cornets and trombones, not quite always hearing, possibly hard, I'm sure, not quite always hearing those triplet semiquavers. I don't know if there's any way, especially when it comes for the second time. So after 17, 1, 2, 3. So the end of 3 after 17, you've got a little rest, and then the D and the C. But then when it comes back 4 bars later, you don't have the rest, you have the E. Da-da-da-dam, dum. I'm not really hearing the difference at the moment. Does that make sense? Yep. Should we just try that tune? We're supposed to have 2 trumpets and 2 cornets, aren't we? Anyway, but let's say the melodies after 17, 3rd bar of 17 with the upbeat. Anyone with the tune? 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's just that bar. Yeah, it sounds really great. It's da-da-dum-dum-dum, da-da-da-dee. Somehow, I don't know if there's a way of making that first note of the triplet speak even more clearly. It'll be great, I'm sure. Let's go from 17, and let's do the dynamics, even if your desk partner isn't. Yep.
18, don't be the first person to play the notes before 18 when the string is, please.
Yes, don't be first going into figure 18. And then I don't know what Michael's doing, but going into the grandioso, I'm just, after 18, I'm just taking a little moment for myself. There, yeah. Good, this is 17. 17. just that moment, and most of us are doing it with me, but we can make sure they're in the percussion as well. Just going into the grandioso, let's just give ourselves a little moment. Don't necessarily write it in, because Michael might do something different, but just for today. Two before grandioso. Two before grandioso. We might come back to that. Let's go on for a bit though. The tambourine could be even softer, I don't know if it's possible. Less of a top octave, a bit more at the bottom. Then we're into the recap. So there's an accelerando, isn't there? Before figure 25, I think it must be about 10 bars. So just let's be ready to go with me there. That will be lovely. I wonder just for notes and for working out what's going on, if it's worth going slightly slower and slightly quieter once from 25, just to see what's going on around there. Because it's tricky stuff. So a little slower, a little softer, please. 25, tempo 1, about bop, 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 beep, beep, okay, and 3, and 4, and. And now, because they weren't playing that time, let's have just the basses on there. Oh, I'm kidding. Good. I think that's useful. And if we had loads of time, we would do that one more time at an intermediate tempo. But I think we know what it's supposed to be now. I think if we can bring out the SFs a little bit more, maybe everything else just a little bit less, whether it's piano or mezzo forte or whatever. Let's ping those out a little bit. And again, in the let's make sure we hear the first note stronger than the last note. Whatever note we finish on is not so important. It's the first note that matters. Great, let's do tutti at 25. I appreciate it's a lot of loud playing, a lot of energy. When you need to back off, for rehearsal purposes, then do. You have to take it easy when you need to. 25, up to tempo now. Good. So let's look at some of this. There's lots of fantastic playing going on. Thank you so much. 34, I think that could be a bit softer, a bit more, just for yourselves, not for the audience, first violin, just a little bit less. And in the oboe clarinet, Owen Alistair, after 34, third and fourth bar, we just get a little bit tripped up there, and it kind of, at the end, it just gabbles a little bit. We've got time at this tempo to play it. Could we just have people playing that Lair Buben theme, the apprentices, the urchins theme, ta-ta-dee, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, from 34. Anybody who has that, please. Just that pattern at 34. 3, 4. Yeah, it may be that we're all playing it absolutely perfectly, but because it's not together, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's imagine we are playing it perfectly, and now let's show that we can do it by playing it together. It's the end semicovers at the end of the bar, isn't it? Ya da 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 da, where it's semitones and where it's not. Let's take it from. Let's do 34 again. Would you even a tiny bit slower? Was that okay, Shula? Just yeah. Pa pa pam, pa 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 pam. 2 and 3 and 4 and. Feel the. Yeah, we've got to feel the inner beats. Whatever speed, whatever speed we're doing it at, we've got to feel the inner beats. Da da da, da 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 da, da 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 da, and not be early off the time.
And I think try not to be too off the string side. We actually start.
Yeah.
Actually on the string with a little bit.
So starting from the string, nice and articulated. 34, 3 and 4 and. Right. Just be with Shula, even if I'm so sorry. Even if Shula's wrong. Be with her.
It will be.
Yeah?
I think if on the if the second note of the tie is more like the stop on the string to prepare for the next note, that will help us not come in early, I think.
Yeah, what she said. Yeah, good. Okay, you get the idea. And a little bit of private practice around here won't hurt. Just before we leave this passage, could I hear, please, just Alistair and Owen, after 34, the fourth bar, really slowly. Bop, bop, bum, bop, 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 bop. So in 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the one, yeah. Brilliant. I just want to check we play in the right notes. Yeah. Super. Thank you. Let's do tutti, please, from 30. Let's go into that just because it's tricky because there's a stringendo before it which makes it hard. So 33, I guess, would make sense. Of course. 5 before 34. Da, da, dee, da, da, da. Yeah, I think it's just tail away. Yeah.
So I think I heard some people really
Yeah. Just get rid of that last note. Going into 4 before 34. This is 33. Thank you, 33. Lower octave. get some little corners towards the end. Going into 39, for me, this is the most extraordinary modulation. It's got to feel like... Can we just try something? This is going to be really silly, and it might fall completely flat on its face. I'm going to ask us to play from 2 before figure 39, and then at 39, if it is safe for you to do so, please will you stand up for 2 bars. This is not for the concert, just for rehearsal purposes, yeah? So we're going to play from 2 before 39, and we won't play on to the end or anything, we'll carry on for a few bars in 39, but I'd like to hear the first couple of bars of 39 with you, if it's safe for you to do so, standing up, okay? And we'll stand up at 39. This is 2 before 39, thank you. 2 before 39. It's that feeling that I'm looking for there, yeah? It's great, it's just whoosh, yeah? So if we can make that sound in our seats, that would be great. Super, thank you very much. Let's keep the dynamic down before that, around 36. There's some pianissimos, then there's a crescendo, but it's a long way to go, isn't it? At 36, we've got a mezzo forte, then a forte, but it takes a long time to get up to the top dynamic. So just let's save it there a little bit. After 37, and any time in the whole piece where we have these trills on accents, it needs to sound really electric there. First violin, show me how that will be from the second of 37, just from the second beat of the bar. Second of 37, second beat of the bar. 3, 4, 1. Yeah. So Shula's doing quite a quick bow speed. Boom, boom, boom. So quite a bow speed accent. Once again, 3, 4, 1. Yeah. That's it. So kind of a really annoying giant mosquito is what we want there. Good, good, good. Fine, fine, fine. Good, how are we doing? I've got 15 minutes, which is not enough to start a new piece. I suggest we take 2 minutes breather and just give ourselves a performance of Cocaine, taking it easy where you need to. Is that all right? Yeah? Okay. At ease. Smoke them if you've got them. Say what? You might be told. Well, that's true. Good. It's been brought to my attention that I'm really mean for going for an hour and 45 minutes without a break. I'm just doing what I've been told, all right? Yeah. Is that what you do these days? I think anyway, isn't it? Do you not? That's okay. That's what I've been told to do, so I must stick to it. Yeah. Should we have a general A, Owen? Thank you. So we have an audience of 3. It's more than some audiences I've played to. Actually, that's not true. I don't think I've ever done 3. 4 I've done. So it's a big piece. Take it easy where we need to. Let's prioritize the pianos, the pianissimos, and the ensemble. When it gets more difficult, the thing to do is to listen more rather than worry more. Just let your neighbors play it. Sounds great. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to hear you play this. Bravi tutti, thank you very, very much.